Today is the day at least 5 or 6 of you have been waiting for. Yama has been released and RuneScape has its newest piece of endgame content. In this video, I want to get you a quick guide out as early as humanly possible so you can start grinding out these new drops the second you get off work today. Quick little disclaimer here, this video is being made right as the boss is released and the techniques and metas will likely evolve over time. One other disclaimer, I'm going to go over some basic information, what the drops are, how to get there, how to gear up, all that type of stuff. If you want to skip just to the fight and the fight mechanics, feel free to use those chapters down below. Let's just speed run through these. Any price that I say is like gonna change in the next 3 minutes because it's release day. Oathplate, it is a side grade to Torva, a lot of slash, gives up a little bit of strength. It's gonna be used kind of in conjunction with the Torva helm to be really good pretty much everywhere that the scythe is used. It's going for around 700 mil as of me saying this, but yeah, in 3 minutes, it's going to be double or half that, so who really knows? Oathplate shards, this is going to be used with a mining activity in order to make Oathplate. You should be able to get several Oathplate pieces before you can get enough Oathplate shards to actually make one. I have 21 KC as of recording this, and I have 5 Oathplate shards. 2 of my friends who I've been doing this with have a similar KC, and they have around 20, so a little bit of RNG there. Rite of Vile Transference, this one is that death charge doubler. Next up, Soulflame Horn, very interesting special attack weapon, currently trading for around 86 mil as of GE Tracker. And then the Dossier, that is going to be an item that grants you a Yama contract. Then the super common loot, the Diabolic Worms, these ones, I'm getting them like every 4 or 5 kills. They're super common, you get like 50 to 60 of them at a time on average. They allow you to catch anglerfish a little bit faster. Aether Catalyst, this one allows you to combine the soul runes and the cosmic runes. It will save you an inventory spot in spellbook swap setups for like Tob and Chambers or whatever you want to use it at. And then the Chasm Teleport Scroll teleports you into the Chasm. The Chasm is really close to DJR. There is a shortcut that they added that just lets you skip like all of the Chasm. I'll show you that in just a second here. These are not really that important. And then there's one other, I don't see it on here. It's the, Barrel of Demonic Tallow. They have it a little bit weird on the wiki here, but I sold mine for 300k. It's fairly common. Pretty much everybody that I know has gotten one so far. That allows you to make the Surge Potion. Cool, let's head on over there. What you're gonna wanna do is make your way to a fairy ring. I recommend just having one in your house. It's super convenient. And you're going to want to go to Fairy Ring DJR. Once you're here, go directly northwest into the chasm and use this rope right here. Then if you do have 83 agility, you have access to this rope chain right here, which once you go down this, it brings you right to Yama. There's no hard requirements here, but I strongly recommend having at least 82 magic for the Dark Demon Maiden spell. I would also recommend getting your hands on a Purging Staff. It is unbelievably good for, well, one, just damaging the boss in general. He's very susceptible to it. But there's also this orb attack that he has that I'll show you in the actual fight section that this is almost needed for. I'm not sure if you can damage it a different way, but this is the only way that I've found to be very effective against it. Also, you do need 2 attack styles. I recommend bringing a full magic switch, which we'll see in the gear section, and then a smaller melee switch. All right, let's talk about the gear. The scythe is in the bin, very surprising. We're gonna wanna go in our best magic setup that we can afford. I recommend, if you do not have a shadow, but also if you have a shadow, you can just camp the Purging Staff. And what you're going to want to do is auto cast the Dark Demon Spane spell here. You're also going to want to bring Natures and Soul Runes in order to cast the Ward of Arceus, and then also the Mark of Darkness. Mark of Darkness makes you more effective with your Arceus spells, and then the Ward of Arceus makes you less susceptible to Arceus spells. And then also just Thralls and Death Charge, always good to bring if you're on the Arceus spellbook. Food and Pots, you absolutely need something to heal the poison. There's a poison that hits you for 20s. It is devastating, so Sandfuse is great to save an inventory spot, but you can always bring something else if you don't want to spend what Sandfuse costs. Bring yourself some restores, and then bring some food. I do recommend some combo eats. Your first few, I'd bring some brews too, just so you could triple eat. There's a few attacks that hit like 80s if you mess it up, so you want to be able to outlast that, and there's just a ton of different ways that you can get comboed for tons of damage, so I strongly recommend the combo eats. And then once you're a little bit more confident, cooked Moonlight Antelopes heal more per inventory spot than Anglers, so I'm bringing a couple of those along as well. Oh yeah, and for the love of God, stop forgetting your Book of the Dead. Sweet, let's get you in there. Definitely get a duo partner though when learning. Solos kind of suck. There are 3 phases to Yama with different attacks, so let's go through these phase by phase. The entire fight, Yama's going to be sending out these auto attacks. The auto attacks hit for around 30 damage if you don't pray correctly against them. They will be either mage or range, and you can tell which one it's going to be. If you look at these 5 marks on the ground here, the northern 2 will always be the same color, which will indicate what you have to pray against. If they are purple, pray mage. If they are red, pray range. Make sure that you stand 1 tick away from the glyph that you are praying the opposite of. So if you're praying mage, you need to be next to the purple one. Yama periodically will send out an elemental special attack. You then need to stand in the center of the corresponding glyph. This is why you're standing right next to it. In phase 1, you do have a few ticks to react, but the timing does get a lot tighter in phase 2. After each special, change your prayer and go to the next color glyph. Yama's second special attack in this phase is a shadow wave, which you just have to step through to avoid the damage. If you're hit by this, you will take a small amount of damage. I think I've gotten like 15s to 20s or so, and your prayer will be turned off. In every phase, you can get this special attack where you get the orbs that spawn. You can see me dealing with this on screen now. You want to switch to your purging staff and use your demon bane spells against it. These are a massive priority. They heal the boss and they hit you for a shitload of damage. At 33% and 66, we have a little in-between phase here. You're going to be teleported to this little island off to the side. You have to make your way across the rocks to the voice of Yama. This is my favorite part of the entire fight because you can just 1 tick and zoom through it. You then have to hit the voice of Yama with alternating attack styles. First mage, then melee. You always max hit this, so this should be over very quickly. Phase 2 has the same start as phase 1, just see what glyphs are north, pray correctly, and stand next to the corresponding glyph. The specials here are different, you deal with them the same exact way though, but they do hit a lot harder if you mess these ones up. The shadow special shoots out very quickly. You can see this as a little like purple disc. React as quick as possible because this one hits big, like 60s or something like that. The red special will drop this massive meteor on the player who is tanking and disable their run. Standing on the red glyph will null this damage. Since the tank cannot run, it is your responsibility as a person who is not tanking to get to that red glyph. The shadow wave special is still here. It just has 2 waves, and then the fire wave special has more fire. Phase 3 is basically an Enrage phase. Yama will alternate auto attacks the entire final phase. A good way to stay in cycle with this is to pray mage if fireballs are dropping on you, and if there are not fireballs dropping on you, pray range. Instead of using the glyphs on the ground this time, Yama will drop 3 fireballs on you, 3 at a time. They will explode in an hourglass pattern. There's probably a cooler way to deal with this, but I like to employ what I call the headless chicken method for this and just run away from them while attacking every 5 ticks. Yama will summon orbs that you have to kill constantly, and if your gear is good enough, you should be able to one-hit all of these. Yama will also spawn the Shadow Wave attack the entire fight, which makes it extremely chaotic. You'll get this crisscross pattern going on. You're probably going to die your first few times here. It's just a lot to deal with right off the bat. Just do your best to keep your DPS and health up while turning back on your prayers when it gets dropped from the waves. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's not as polished as most of my videos. I'm just trying to get this out there as soon as possible for you. If you did like the video, if I did help you at all, I would greatly appreciate you liking the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more RuneScape content like this, and I will see you in the next one.